Changing operating models is essential for disruptors primarily because the way disruptors perceive businesses of today largely focused on customers and new product innovation. Operating model is the single most important glue which acts as an integrated blueprint for CXOs as a reference point to build those digital capabilities while looking at digital transformation as an integral initiative of their organization. From a perspective of designing operating models, you can actually have 2 or 3 or multiple different options or perhaps perspectives as we call it. It can be a dimension-led perspective based on the dimensions that you define while identifying your operating model and your blueprint. It can also have a technology-led dimension. It can also be a customer experience-led dimension. Depending on whatever is the strategic initiative identified by your CXOs, the operating model can be defined based on those principles. So when you look at an operating model, fundamentally it is important, especially when you talk of digital disruption and disruptive technologies. Operating model, as I explained earlier, would act as a glue between the business layer and the technology layer as a single blueprint for CXOs as a reference point. It's important from a risk perspective to look at 4 life cycles: the customer life cycle, the data life cycle, the operational life cycle, and the product life cycle. Based on these life cycles, you can actually uniquely define a framework which perhaps you can call it as a digital risk framework. And a lot of companies are actually looking for these reference points to mitigate some of those risks that can actually arise due to changing businesses and newer operating models.